Manever I say ma Pen Dream TV. Pen Dream TV there, I see them yopo.
After this short break, Obianye din na ontie this editorial. This one is an educational piece. Politician begina with table so obegina with fie, obegina with man team, obegina with constituency. Obetena TV so said to abama me. Na se we mbusa ne nsema ye bedu bibia ye dui. 2012, 13, 14, 15. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo can sembebre. Journalist in Ghana, Kwame Sefa-Kan, Ottawa, Akufo-Addo betena the radio to say Arab Spring. Ghana from Rantier, Emfa to me show monsa no munkunipa. Sane be to me besesa. And the Atubiga speaks with facts. Na kwa CBT radio so Asempa say he has a problem with Atubiga. Nyankopon be kuma to atwin we Jimmy. No, today me pese me chire bibi mu chire. Yanko break bia. Let's go. Yes, just move forward. Me pese me ka Ghana for mam tibi bia say politics na ye no. Ye ni nipa ku bia ho a omunim nyansa chen. Me nim nyansa nchen o, unim nyansa nchen me. Privilege na menya na metena ha na menya platform na me bie weni wonyama bi hu. Nipa bebre hwe me a they are more intelligent than me. Now, as a young Ghanaian, as somebody when you kakra, obi a ope Ghana ye, obi a MPP Akufo-Addo do hwamo no. This time me be cast me achro. So politician be gina wenim. Say meye we. Na so wentuma nchrew. Ade potia. Oso obeye no obeya men money to me. San kwasi ade bi ye 2012, 13, 14, 15 and the year to me ama ewifo we. Now okay say in 2012 around March, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo eko BBC hard talk show no so. Na oko show no so no. Obusa ni nsembi. What happened is we Ghanaians, because we were too busy listening to lies now, we did not sit back to analyze Akufo-Addo's level of intelligence, to analyze every single statement Akufo-Addo was making, to analyze say nipa na also ope to me no policies are all can wasem no or was sikebi dawa obe to me the implement policy na de bino at the send then we hon kwatre. We failed to scrutinize and ask questions to know the person who is standing in front of us and say, oh yeah, well endowed or nimnyansa or knowledgeable to solve our problems. We don't have to make that mistake again. Now, there is something here in confusion and steady here. That interview, no, Akufo-Addo, I can send me room. Maybe Chama DB. And I'm going to back it with a few things. No one will say Akufo-Addo and this MPP government, it needs Obiaji Omudi. It does not matter who represents them in 2024. Because then the head itself, the head is rotten. There was Sibia a bad meat. These are the same people who supported Akufo-Addo's lies with all that is in them to make sure say and the Maboye Bukata. Now when Akufo-Addo went on Hard Talk, the journalists or BBC, you know, let me put this here. Sebio onya Ghana journalist oye bro ni fita sebio ono oye na dwuma oye na research and sana we busa questions no. The journalist gave us signals. BBC Hard Talk show no my signal bi by yen no sebio samre na ejimi fo na yen hye na mpese ye beti na sebio dodo no so na yente brofo na sebio omo no muti radio so no they had connived with the Akufo-Addo to lie to Ghanaians. It's not a dear Magana for say, you be wound the corner, be with Akufo-Addo Nyansa and also Nyansa. When you know the politics, the change as Nyansa and also to me Bumai. We missed that opportunity. Some Ghanaians, especially some of the media in Ghana, no, they connived with the Akufo-Addo to lie to the world and lie to we the people. Majority of us are Sebio Yante Brofo, Yehu, Diana Ekoso. Na time Akufo-Addo call Abrochire or call BBC, an interview, no, Anka Yamaya Jene call as young men and women, as Ghana for your university, as teachers, as police, as soldiers, and they turn back in a TNA and Kebut Akufo-Addo, Onimian say the Bumai, Akufo-Addo, only plan to be Bebu Ghana, Akufo-Addo no petumi keke. But what we did was, we were not listening to a dumb man. We were just happy that a man who has done everything possible to be president, you know, we were feeling pity for him. So all that we were doing is, oh, nyamemwa no so nya bindi. But na yen checking nyansen dan it because na nipa no empty. Abrofo no mo BBC no and as a host of that show no. On my glimpses said Ghana for Jimmy Crano, this should give you a clear sign. He said the man sitting in front of me is dumb. He has no plans. He just wants to be president. Now, at that interview, no, Ekufuor can some me mumiensa muntien ye. We are not the reason why now listen to this. When he went on Hard Talk, he spoke about petroleum. He spoke about the Atta Mills regime and petroleum. He also spoke about transparency and accountability. And he also spoke about free SHS. That was Hard Talk. Na yentie Ghana for yet and Akwawe who is ignorant. Oko you know BB's for exposing it big time. But yene sebio dodon ye jimintia sebio dodon so yanko school na. Omde brofo tata no ede ehunu no. Ni adwen se Kufuor nim nyansa ma. Na muntie Kufuor. Yene kakra. Na afi obi begina onim se me MPP ni me politician me de manyini me sia tutu me sia hye intimi de papa ye say montoma me because hey jai jimi no na kire ye de o se ye ntoma no o de oba obeye asolve problem no amenya ho mfaso. Now listen to Kufuor. Where are you? All right. I'm trying to get this in here. It's tough. All right. I think we'll get it. Oh, that's terrible.
Speeches over the last few weeks and months, you consistently accuse the Mills administration of overseeing rampant corruption. I think it's fair to say, looking back through Transparency International reports and many others, that corruption's been a problem in your country for a long time. Yeah. Certainly goes back beyond the Mills administration into your administration and beyond that too. But I just look at what the current government has done, for example, signing up to the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, which the Angolans, for example, refused to do, introducing proposals for transparency in the auditing of contracts and other things in the oil business. Seems to me they're making a real effort to do things differently in Africa.
But at the end of the day, what are we left with? For instance, in the management of our petroleum revenues, our original position was that we should create a special petroleum account outside the consolidated fund so that we could look and track these revenues in an open and transparent manner. Because if you put the monies directly into the budget, the difficulty exists of finding out exactly how they play out. That, for instance, was a position that the government did not subscribe to, that we should create a special account which would enable the tracking to take place.
Do you believe that, as is perhaps the case in Nigeria and Angola and Equatorial Guinea, there is a real danger that this discovery of major oil off the coast of your country could become a curse rather than a blessing?
That has to be a concern for all of us Ghanaians. And the only way we can address it is the institutional arrangements that we make in the management of this new resource. It has to be a constant source of anxiety and worry for each one of us, that if we don't put in the proper mechanisms, the proper institutional arrangements, it shouldn't be. It should be a source for us of additional resources that would enable us to focus on the transformation of our economy.
I just wonder why.
All right, so that was one. The journalist in front of Kufuor, who is not stupid as some of Ghanaian journalists, said your predecessors' government, they tried, Atta Mills' government, they were even able, they went further to sign a transparency agreement where some other countries refuse to sign when it comes to petroleum and how transparent it's going to be. Kufuor said, Omono, as the leader of the MPP then who wanted power, and what they had suggested was to put together a special petroleum account. To do what? Track petroleum revenue. And this was Kufuor who wanted to be president. He said their suggestion was to create what we call a special petroleum account so that they could track the revenue of the revenue we will make out of the petroleum or the oil we are making or selling. It sounded very nice to the ear, right? Now, at the end of the day, yet Ghana Kufuor has been president for 5 years. This is one. Minority to Simon Oforiatta over 827 million missing oil cash. He is the same person who was saying, say, they were coming into power to create what we call special petroleum accounts, whereby proceeds from petroleum revenue, they will keep the money there. And then, even though the previous government had plans doing that, or see, they were going to create a special petroleum account. And that account, revenue be petroleum, as we speak today, Akufo-Addo is president, 827 million Ghana cedis. We are telling the finance minister to come and account for it. You are quiet. So what happened to creating a special petroleum account to track our revenue? Because the revenue that you said you were going to track, we cannot find the revenue. We are asking this guy, in some way, 2012. And as we sit here today, there are people in the NPPR, they know that the Akufo-Addo's government, they have stolen from us when it comes to the petroleum. And this time I catch Ghana for say, so what is a politician be kasa woni hwinim and don't listen to the grammar. Listen to the person. So because the journalist was asking him, don't you think that your predecessor at Tamil's government, they are already implemented this through signing agreement and letting people know that they are going to transparent. And then Mahama Mobile, you could see the petroleum revenue, some were put aside. Akufo-Addo said they were going to create a special petroleum account. This is 2012. He wanted power. And the Menuka say almost 900 million. And yet Ghana cedis petroleum revenue now also obe create account. Nobody is speaking. The Akufo-Addo is there. He does not care because he has stolen the money. You can also see this. 1.9 billion lost to petroleum tax evasion in 2019. So Akufo-Addo time and our opposition also be create a petroleum account. And remember, Bawumia and Lancash, they stood on one platform to talk about this. These were the kind of things they were telling Ghanaians without giving facts how they are going to do that. Alankash Kebi, Bawumia said some. And these people too want to take over from Akufo-Addo. They are going to do worse than Akufo-Addo. And these are things that they are making so Ghana nina utie politics are. Brofuni de obika sawu ena wakoje. But nyansa edibu man oni bi. Akufo-Addo twana blah 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 blah. Onim nyansa edibu man. Eyentro power na ohia. Special petroleum accounts in a way. We are talking about almost 900 million gone. Nobody's speaking. Finance minister should come. The parliamentarians, the majority MPP forum, finance minister Beba. Abe answer say petroleum revenue no sikana way 1.6 billion. We are asking where is the tax money? As we sit here, these are the same people who said they were going to create a petroleum account. Bawumia Wayne, Alankash Wayne, and these people are all licking the butt of this guy thinking because when putting edges on him nyansa cha omu nyina Akufo-Addo na ehunu say oye father. Father, oh father. Father Murphy, good evening. Father, oh father no onye. Father na dwini sa. Father na true for. Father na is a criminal. Na ne man is snake and sons. Alankash Bawumia. Father na muno afeni ewu say oye empty. Now it does not end there. On the same hard talk, Akufo-Addo was questioned on transparency and accountability. Let's listen to Akufo-Addo when he was in opposition, what he said about transparency and accountability. Listen to Akufo-Addo.
The current administration, because frankly your record as a justice minister and senior minister in the previous administration doesn't suggest that your values were frankly any different from theirs.
The values are very different. First of all, we're talking about people, I'm talking about us, who were at the very forefront of the struggle for democracy in Ghana. And what does that mean? That means that we want an open system of government, accountable government. And that has been the very strongest driving force behind the political careers of many of us who are now today in the opposition. Making sure that our country didn't become like, so it had become in Africa, one-party government, authoritarian government, that would be open democratic government. So that's the first. The second is the record in government. And many of the measures that were put in place to ensure transparency, the Whistleblowers Act, the procurement law, all of these were legislation that were began by me when I was Attorney General in order to create the framework that would enable people to go. I mean, for instance, the Whistleblowers Act, what we're saying. The first time it was tested in Ghana, the whistleblowers under President
sure, I understand what you're saying, but I
ended up in jail. They didn't.
But the greatest indictment, frankly, of your government is the way in which you squandered money and left this huge hole in the budget deficit. And I think you would now acknowledge that that was a profound problem with the last time your party was in power.
I don't accept that. I don't accept that proposition at all.
Well, I'll tell you what the Ghanaian people, it seems to me, from reading a lot of stuff in the...
There's a Akufo-Addo. He was talking about transparency and accountability in opposition on BBC Hard Talk. He talked about democracy being started by NPP and that they believe in democracy. They started it. They believe in Kebi Mami Kebi. Obian Kanajine, a Wiasne Etnedie, only a leader or bar, what we call accountability and what we also call transparency there. He also talked about he doesn't want to see a one-party state. He doesn't want to see a country whereby people are being intimidated, where procurement laws, he will make sure the procurement laws work. Procurement laws. He made that statement. He talked about open system of governance, accountability, and also transparency. This is Akufo-Addo in opposition. Now let's talk about transparency and accountability and Akufo-Addo. We Ghana ni no ko school kakra se bi onko school kakra otie mi a aha na wo so obie wa adwene mu ohia to mi keke ne mma no mudi rechi no to mi no mu hia o Alankash ne Bawumiamo say ya no mo de beyemo because they use this to campaign. He talked about open system of government. Do we have an open system of government now? Accountability in Akufo-Addo's government. Me know Akufo-Addo accountability. As we sit here, Ombra State of the Nation will say he has postponed it indefinitely. Jimmy. I'll say he talked about procurement laws to make sure the laws work. I'm talking to you today. PPA, ABAJ is still struggling with Ghanaians. As we speak today, let's talk about the procurement breaches Akufo-Addo himself is a member of. How many people have breached the law through procurement breaches? Jane Mensah, she has broken the law when it comes to procurement breaches. Maxwell Ajiman, Opoku Ajiman, Akoye no, appeals court judge. He broke procurement breaches. We are talking about a president who does not want anybody to speak in Ghana. We are talking about an autocrat. He was speaking about stopping autocratic kind of governance. As we speak today, unless you decide to shut up, when you speak, you will be arrested. When you Akufo-Addo na no say, Yenjano or ye human rights lawyer, Bibia when you NC Ghana under Akufo-Addo's leadership. Where is accountability? We are asking for our oil money. Accountability, no. We are asking for COVID-19, Sputnik. Accountability, no. We are asking for Ameri. Accountability, no. PDS. Accountability, no. As a year, Ejapa. Accountability, no. We can talk about BOST. Accountability, no. We can talk about Aboboya tricycles. Accountability, no. We can talk about free SHS. We can talk about COVID-19. Accountability, no. Akufo-Addo does not understand what we call transparency and accountability. He is a tyrant. Or your politician, I know here to me keke. I didn't say these things. He said all these things on BBC. The journalist was asking very important question. Kenya signal, no, that signal said this guy is dumb. He's just coming in to steal. Let's prepare our minds for 2024. Mama kwasiye bi njina wonka say, wait brofo, wait papa ni way. Let's listen to them well. Pose the questions. Do you think Bawumia and Alankash under Akufo-Addo, this kind of crime, corruption, any of them can prosecute any of these people? He can't. They can't. They dare not. So giving power to Bawumia and Alankash, I had to say Yasa Bodam. It is the same thing that is going to play out, even worse. Because when you give power to Bawumia and give to Alankash, it is basically giving power to Akufo-Addo.